Hey, what is up guys? GuitarRock here, welcome back to another Brown Dust 2 video. Alright, in this video I'm gonna cover a couple of things, which is the upcoming characters, since we can already play the game Carta War Z. That's going to be specifically the... not this one. This one is the event, but I'm more talking about the Contract Wars character pack, which is this particular one. Alright, so I'm going to talk about those the characters there. But first things first, I want to cover the shop. I think a lot of you guys have also asked me as well. Today is the 1st of November, so that means you get a costume selective enhancement as per usual. You will always get this particular thing at the beginning of the month. And I do always encourage players, alright, to buy, the Tears of Goddesses. This is going to be very, very cool, especially if you're running low on this. And of course, depending on which one you need, I do highly recommend getting the Ancient Crystals as well. And that's pretty much it, right? This thing, I guess you can get those as well if you need those. But let's talk about the Powder of Hope characters, because that's going to be the most important aspect for a lot of you guys out there. Now, out of all of these 4 characters, who is going to be the best one out there? Alright, if any of you guys are looking for, to spend Powder of Hope. Right now, let's start with the worst one. I would say Glacia is probably the least useful one out of this bunch. She has a very unique tile range right there, right? And she has this particular skill that helps decrease incoming damage by 50%. Alright, that part is cool and all, but it also at the same time does damage, which is a fixed damage. So it's like you reduce your own incoming damage, and at the same time you also help to do a little bit of damage. So it's a little bit weird, right? It would be nicer if this other skill wasn't like attack the enemy, but instead it's a taunt or something. Also, Glacia has 2 costumes right now. The other costume is way better. Alright, so if you guys are not aware, let me see if I can bring it up. The other costume gives her 2 lives, and that's going to enable her to last in the battle longer. Alright, it is going to be something that makes her like kind of unique in a way, right? This particular one. So 2 turn applies taunt if killed by an attack with 4 turns, revive with 80% HP, and heal by certain amount for 4 turns based on 15% max HP. So this is going to be the one that's like really, really cool. She does have a couple of upgrades right here as well. Let me see if I can show it, right? In this particular upgrade preview. So assuming she has the potential liberation right here. Alright, you can see she can also heal right now 65% of max HP. 4 turns. Very, very interesting. But yeah, I would say this one is going to be a better one if you're looking to get Glacia, not this one. This one, yeah, I don't think I've ever used this particular costume, man. It's just so not worth it. While decreased incoming damage can be cool and all. Actually, you know what? No. You are better off using Grand Hilde or any other character. Energy Guard, those are going to be way more superior. So my advice is don't get this one, alright? So this is just out of the question. I would say it's like probably the worst one out of this bunch. Now, Celia on the other hand, Celia is a character that we all use a lot, alright? So I'm sure you guys are aware. In fact, if you're new, I always advise players to roll for her. However, she also has 3 costumes, right? And sadly, this particular costume is going to be her least used one out of the 3. Let me just jump into it. You don't really use Celia in like a normal scenario, but in a scenario where you're particularly using her for like Fiend Hunter, Fiend bosses, this one is very good. This one is the best one. As you can see, attack the enemy 7 times, right? 7 times, you do a bunch of chain. This is just insane, one of the best one. The Bunny Celia, this is a limited costume. Also very, very useful. Now this particular one, however, right, I wouldn't say it's bad. So you can see at least you get it up to +3, then it's 4 SP. Outside of that, it's just you are just at that point like you're applying a little bit of debuff to the enemy to decrease their magic attack, and increasing the damage is probably not going to be needed because she's just going to be used right there to basically apply chain to the boss, right, for 5 times. So if you don't have this particular costume, I would advise you to get one. You use her in guild raids in particular for sure, but in most cases not worth it if you're trying to upgrade. Alright, if you're trying to go for like outside of +3, if you just get that 1 SP reduction, sure. Actually, if you just get 1 copy, it's probably going to be able to function. Now let's talk about the other two. This is where it gets interesting. Anonymous Siege Nartas and B rank idol Seir. Now Seir, like I mentioned, is a very, very reliant on the other costumes. If you have the current office Seir, this could be a decent option, alright? So this particular one, you need to upgrade this particular one, the idol one. The idol one is going to be the more important one between the two. Now why is that? If you try to get this particular Seir costume for free, let me see if you can find her. She is right here. Alright. So let's say you get this costume, right? You get plenty of the copies. You're trying to maximize her potential. The other costume that's going to work very well with her is going to be... Wait, it's not the idol one. Is it the idol one? It's not the idol one. It's going to be this particular one. Oh shoot, so the idol one is not that good. I was misremembering. So why the idol one is not that good is because you can see the idol costume. I mean, it's okay, but it doesn't complement this costume well, because this particular costume, the decreased incoming damage only lasts for 2 turns. So by the time you finish using this costume, you swap to the other costume, you would have lost your decreased incoming damage buff, right? Whereas this one is the one that can basically carry over, because this decreased incoming damage lasts for 4 turns. Alright, so you go to the other costume, you still have that decreased incoming damage buff on you. So this is going to be the one that's much more valuable, I would say. But this one, obviously, Seir is just very, very expensive. You need like all 3 costumes for her to work to her utmost potential. If you're a new player, I wouldn't recommend her, right? Definitely no. If you are a veteran player, sure. Now last, we have Nartas. Now I am aware Nartas is a dude, but he's actually really strong, right? If you're looking for a dark type magic DPS, he's actually really strong. I've seen people achieve like insane potential with him. Alright, he also decreased incoming damage at the beginning, and then like unleash like insane damage in the single line. Right here you can see, if the enemy is physical, this is going to be insane, right? 850% is a lot of multiplier right there. But also it depends on the enemy as well. So you can see, if you toggle this up to max, decrease SP by 1, and this goes up to 1050%. Now if you're looking to power up just one dark type magic DPS, then it's probably going to be Nartas. But he works very weird in the scenario that the enemy has to be physical to get the utmost potential. So there's that as well, right? So I would say Nartas is probably the best one actually, if you think about it, in the Powder of Hope. But that's only if you care for getting a male character. But Nartas seems to be a character that functions well on its own. He doesn't require other costumes like Seir. So it feels like, in my humble opinion, this makes a lot of sense, right? Now let's talk about the other characters. Alright, so if you guys are not aware, we also have this girl right here, Nebri. Alright, so she's perhaps the one that's going to come way later. She is going to have a very unique concept. I've uploaded my Contract War pack playthrough if you guys want to reference that, if you guys are struggling. Also with the timestamp right here as well, so that you guys can refer to the battle. Now if you look at this, what Nebri does is, she has the ability that attack 3 times. Now she's gonna do physical damage 80% of the attack. Now, damage increased by additional 40% for each buff you have. So this one is pretty straightforward. Nebri always have this costume that complements each other with the extra buff that she obtained, right? Very, very cool. Now, the one that's going to be more interesting for me is going to be the other two, which is in this case, Michaela and Luventia. Now you can see Luventia has the ability to attack the enemy 8 times. I like this, very, very high chain. Each attack deals 80% physical damage. The main target deals damage based on 140% of your attack instead. So she's gonna do more against the main target. Damage decrease by 5% for every target hit. Alright, damage reduction is fixed based on the first strike. So what this means is, the more enemies are in the range, the more damage reduction she's gonna get. So she shines if there's a single boss, I guess, but still 8 times for the chain is not too bad, and I think this is going to be one of the few first costume that she has. Probably she's going to have a different separate costume in the future, right, for the dark type. So that's going to be pretty cool. Another one is going to be Michaela. Now Michaela is a bit confusing, right? I think she's going to be the weird one. You can see right here. So she has a very unique tile range right there. I don't know if you guys can see, but in that cross tile, right? This is where it gets interesting. Whereas for Nebri, it's like the same with Rubia, Pirate Rubia tile, right? So for this particular one, ally SP decreased by 6 points, which is like a lot of nerf right there. Attack the enemy 3 times, dealing 300% of your magic attack. So Michaela just... it's a very weird costume, in my humble opinion, right? I'm not sure if I would recommend to pull for her actually. Maybe just get 1 copy. But if you're looking to pull lots of copies, I don't know, like if you get 1 copy, like what is the SP decrease, right? 6 points is a lot of decrease. Like maybe it's good to finish off the enemy, for sure, right? Also the cooldown is insane, right? It's like a 9-turn cooldown. So I don't know. It's just a very weird costume overall. I have no idea if these costumes right here are already infused with the max potential liberation. I assume yes, but so far none of them seems to be like particularly meta. Alright, they are like okay, but they are not like meta or game changing. So I feel like if you miss out on them, it's not the end of the world. Plus they are all standard characters as well. So if you want to save for the upcoming Christmas banner, that might be the better choice for a lot of you guys. So again, these are going to be my honest, personal thoughts regarding all of these characters. So hopefully with that being said, you know, I hope I can help you guys make a better decision as well. Let me know what you guys think. Subscribe if you guys are already. Give this video a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a nice day. Goodbye.